Edwin Sifuna. Before you speak, Senator for Nairobi City County, what is your clarification, Senator Maruma?
Maybe I would like to request that instead of all of us really debating, because this is a PO, then you can limit to maybe six from both sides, so that don't use a lot of time.
Now, honorable senators, the motion as proposed by Senator Methu has been dispensed with. We are not going to amend midway. Senator for Nairobi City County, you may proceed.
Honorable Speaker, when we come here and take oath there to uphold the law, there really is no room for sentiment. You have to do what is right by the law. It doesn't matter what personal feelings you have. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I have a problem with the way this motion was framed, because the question as to whether there was a sitting on the 26th has already been answered by the Assembly itself. The Assembly has told us that, in fact, there was no sitting on the 26th because of the circumstances. That is the truth. Secondly, the reason why I feel like this is a moot question. As a lawyer, I took an oath on the 2nd of October in 2008 to uphold the Constitution and the law. Impeachment processes are guided by the Constitution and the law. If a court of competent jurisdiction has said it doesn't matter whether there was a sitting on 26th or not, whatever happened that day is null and void. There's nothing to discuss. It is that simple. So for me, Honorable Speaker, I am very clear in my mind, there has been a tacit concession by the Assembly that in fact there was no sitting. There is a second limb that in fact there is a court decision.
Senator for Nairobi City County. That is the second motion that is yet to be moved.
I understand, Honorable Speaker, these two matters are related. I was speaking to the motion.
I've given a guidance that we
I was speaking to the motion. The motion is whether there was a sitting, and the question of whether it is a question to be put anyway is what I am addressing, Honorable Speaker, with due respect. I have had senior colleagues in the profession, and I have tremendous respect for all of them. It will be the darkest day, Honorable Speaker, when me, as a lawyer who is also an appointed officer of the court, the person who has been crying all over the place saying we need to respect the rule of law, and that the cornerstone of rule of law is obedience of court orders. I was one of the lawyers for Miguna. We got almost 12 court orders. They were all disobeyed by some people now who are running around telling us about court orders in this country. So, Honorable Speaker, for me, the question as to whether there was a sitting has already been answered by the Assembly themselves, and the answer can be played back. You will hear counsel admitting that in fact the circumstances on that day did not favor a sitting. They have had to go and repair and look for Hansard material because of that circumstance that he told us about. If you don't follow procedure, Honorable Speaker, it doesn't really matter. These conversations that the majority leader was inviting us to have, we have committees of this House whose work is to look into affairs of county governments. And in fact, we have done it in the county of Nyamira. So, Honorable Speaker, my position is I am not convinced that there was a sitting on the 26th of July to do this impeachment, and having that process.
Senator for Nairobi City County, just take a seat. Senator Mandago, what is your point of order?
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I didn't want to interrupt the lawyer, Senator Sifuna, but I thought I heard very clearly the county assembly said there was a sitting, only that there was destruction of the evidence of the answered, Honorable Speaker. It cannot be true to say that there was no sitting.
So is that a point of information or?
I'm lost because I didn't even know when there was consensus.
You may use that information if need be.
The beauty with our proceedings, unlike the ones in Isiolo, we are live on TV, the Hansard is here, it can be read back. He said it was not possible, the circumstances obtaining on that particular day.
Senator Murango. Now, honorable senators, once you get an opportunity to debate this motion, remember we are debating on the motion on whether there was a sitting. The motion on the court orders shall come next, depending on the outcome of this particular motion. Proceed, Senator Murango.
Asante sana Mstahiki Speaker kwa kunipa hii nafasi.
Mstahiki Speaker,
Hapo awali kabla sijakuwa seneta, nilikuwa mwakilishi wandi katika gatuzi za Kirinyaga. Na zaidi nilikuwa kiongozi wa wengi wakati huo. Wakati huo pia tuliweza kung'atua ngavana nikiweko. Na tukamleta hapa na akarudi. Na ni sawa. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker na bando yuko. Mr. Speaker, kuna umuhimu wa kikao cha bunge la gatuzi kukaa katika mahali ambapo panajulikana na pamewekwa katika gazeti la serikali. Wakati huo nakumbuka vichwa vyetu vilikuwa vinatakikana. Lakini sisi zote ambao tulikuwa tunameamini na tumeamua lazima gavana aende, tulilala katika bunge la gatuzi la Kirinyaga kuhakikisha tumefanya kazi yetu. Kwa nini? Ili kufuata sheria na kanuni zilizowekwa. Kwa hivyo, Mr. Speaker, uhitaji wetu kama seneta ni kufanya jambo ambalo lililo halali la kisheria. Mr. Speaker, chumvi haina maana kwa mtu ambaye anakunywa chai. Vile vile sukari haina maana kwa mtu anayekunywa supu. Sisi tutakuwa tu na maana kama utakuja kufanya uamuzi ambao unakizana na sheria za nchi. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Senator Maanzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute on this motion. Mr. Speaker, we are sworn to uphold the law. And every process which goes on in the county assemblies and even in this Senate and any house has to follow the law. In the case of Kenya, it has to be the Constitution of Kenya and the acts of Parliament dealing with that particular matter. Mr. Speaker, anything outside that then becomes a different scenario, and the law has to apply as it is decided. Mr. Speaker, the issue of an impeachment of a governor is a very serious matter and has very serious consequences. And therefore, the law must be followed to the letter so that the Assembly does not get involved in an exercise in futility, nor does this House get involved in an exercise in futility. The moment we make a decision, the governor can go to a court to seek further justice, or the Assembly can also go to a court to seek further justice if we never followed the process. And therefore, it is important, Mr. Speaker, we adhere to the process. Finally, it is a matter of a vote. We will vote according to our conviction, Mr. Speaker, and the decision will be carried in one way or another. So finally, it is a vote. And the law recognizes that vote, whichever it has gone, it has very serious consequences, and therefore, it has to be fair, Mr. Speaker. And the best way to make sure that the decision is fair, it is the adherence of the Constitution and the relevant statutes, and also the procedures laid in our standing orders, Mr. Speaker, so that justice is accorded to all parties involved, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I look forward to this vote, and this debate is very important. It guides the House, and the whole country is following what this House does, and the country takes the Senate very seriously as a place. While we all sit as judges and will pass judgment in one way or another, the judgment has to be fair and in accordance with the law. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support the motion and I will be voting. I thank you.
Senator Mgatana.
Mr. Speaker, every time we come to this House, the House Business Committee must have sat down. They must have balloted the motions. They must have prepared which motions are significant or prioritized. And then an order paper is prepared, Mr. Speaker. And when that order paper is prepared and it has a motion, the notice of motion would be moved like we did today. And then once that notice is given, there will be a debate. There is no question about that. Mr. Speaker, when we say that a meeting took place, the debate took place, I expected that there would be minutes of the House Business Committee of Isiolo County Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I expected that there would be evidence of notice of motion, at least, or even referring that there was notice of motion on that day. Mr. Speaker, nothing has been told, even mentioned in passing, Mr. Speaker. So let us not disregard the processes we have known, the way we have done things in these houses. It cannot be different for Isiolo. It is the same here in this house. It is the same in the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, let us not debate this matter. Let us agree there was no meeting that took place on 18th. And if there was something else, Mr. Speaker, they would have given us those audios. They would have given us the videos. And if they cannot, they didn't even talk about it, Mr. Speaker. So I'm just wondering why we are even discussing this matter. Because, Mr. Speaker, it is clear that there was no meeting, even without going to the issue of the court orders. I want also to say something, Mr. Speaker. I want to disabuse my colleagues of the idea that we are being unfair. No, we are not being unfair, or we are not denying anybody justice. Somebody here in the argument tried to move the idea that we are denying someone justice. What do you mean, Mr. Speaker? I want to say this. When we are moving petitions in this house, Mr. Speaker, petitions, one of the things that you swear to is that that matter that is in petition, understanding order number 235, if I'm not wrong, you are swearing that there's no matter pending before court. Mr. Speaker, I remember very well when our chair was Honorable Wamatinga, we went to Uyombo, where there was a nuclear plant that was being proposed to be built. And it was the petition of the Honorable, very distinguished Senator Okiya Omtata. And when we went there, Mr. Speaker, one of the things we asked the people, have you taken this matter to court? They said they have. And
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the matter before us is very weighty because the issue of there not being a sitting is not a matter that we can take lightly, Mr. Speaker. I have listened to my good friend, Majority Leader, but I want to tell him that we cannot violate the law just because we want to listen to evidence which looks weighty. We must look at what the law says. In the matter of Kericho, Mr. Speaker, we had a serious issue of 2/3 threshold. And this House decided that because of that issue of 2/3, we dispense with the matter at the PO. In this case, Mr. Speaker, there was no sitting. The Article 181 of our Constitution, Section 33 of County Government Act, and Standing Order number 65 of Isiolo County Assembly is very clear on the need to have a sitting and a motion tabled. There was no sitting, there was no tabling of any motion, and Mr. Speaker, we are sitting here and asking for video recordings, which we were not being given. Mr. Speaker, we are very considerate as a Senate. We have thrown out a number of motions, for example, Meru, because you wanted to teach the MCS what to do right. And they did the right thing, and we impeached the governor. In this case, Mr. Speaker, we need to send them back to do the right job so that when they bring here a proper impeachment motion, this House will have the obligation, exercising Article 96 of the Constitution, to send the governor away. But you cannot allow people to meet in a bar, Mr. Speaker, present a motion to us, and this House sends away a governor who has been duly elected by the people. That will be setting a wrong precedent. And Mr. Speaker, I want to dissuade colleagues that let us deal with this PO in a very objective manner, follow the law, because we cannot continue listening to a motion that is a nullity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this motion.
Senator